You ever hear the saying, they don't make them like they used to? Well, Honda said watch this, and brought back the XR650L for 2025, better, bolder, and built for the brave. Within 15 seconds of rolling on the throttle, you feel something rare, raw mechanical connection. At Bike Focus Reviews, we call this bike the survivor of the sport because it hasn't bent to modern gimmicks. It's one of the last remaining true dual sports that refuses to go soft. And for riders who want grit over gadgets, this is the machine that still writes its own rules. That classic thumper power, still alive, still kicking. Rev the engine, and you're instantly greeted with the iconic thump of Honda's 644 cubic centimeters air-cooled single-cylinder. No water cooling. No turbo. Just old-school combustion thunder. The moment you crack that throttle open, especially in the lower gears, the torque hits like a hammer, aggressive, responsive, and unapologetic. The 2025 model features revised fuel mapping that smoothens out the mid-range without neutering its wild heart. Within a few seconds, you realize that this bike isn't trying to be something it's not, it embraces its heritage and delivers brute force the way nature intended. Off-road warrior with real steel underneath. This isn't a bike for the polished showrooms or glossy cafe roads. The XR650L is a dirt-born rebel that thrives where the road ends and chaos begins. Its full steel frame is purpose-built to take a beating. Equipped with 43mm shower forks offering nearly 11 inches of travel, and a Pro-Link rear suspension soaking up the trail's worst, it eats rocks and spits dust with pride. Every time you hit a rut or leap over a log, you'll appreciate how battle-hardened this machine feels. It's not fragile. It's not trendy. It's a warrior with scars, and that's what makes it legendary. Street legal but wild at heart. Imagine a dirt bike with a license plate and you've got the XR650L in a nutshell. Yes, it's street legal, but don't mistake that for tame. Honda gives you just enough road-friendly features, LED lighting, mirrors, indicators, a compact digital gauge, but leaves everything else bare and ready for action. Within 15 seconds of city riding, you'll feel like a caged beast begging to be unleashed. This is a dirt machine dressed up just enough to sneak past traffic cops. Commuting Monday to Friday? Sure. But come Saturday, it's you, the wilderness, and a whole lot of dust. Built for abuse, not Instagram. Let's be brutally honest, this bike wasn't built for likes. It's tall, raw, and unapologetically rugged. The 2025 XR650L maintains its 37-inch seat height, forcing you to earn your ride. It still uses a simple carburetor instead of fancy fuel injection. There are no riding modes, no traction control, and absolutely zero ride-by-wire drama. But that's the point. This bike doesn't need validation. It was made to take you 200 miles into nowhere and bring you back with nothing but a toolkit and some duct tape. And it does it better than any bike trying to look pretty in photos. Fuel capacity and real-world range. The 2.8-gallon tank may seem modest, but this engine sips fuel like a wise traveler in the desert. You're looking at roughly 110 to 120 miles of range, solid enough for long off-road loops or adventure treks with smart planning. If you're serious about crossing continents, larger aftermarket tanks are available. You'll find yourself checking the gauge less often than you'd expect. And when you're far from fuel stations, every mile of range starts to matter. Within minutes of planning your route, you'll respect how Honda made this bike efficient without sacrificing power. Ergonomics, simple, sturdy, and ready to move. Hop onto the XR650L and you're instantly towering over traffic. That 37-inch seat offers a commanding view of both trails and urban streets. While it might seem aggressive at first, the seating is surprisingly manageable. The handlebars sit wide for great leverage, and the controls are intuitive and easy to grip. The seat is firm, yes, but it's built for mobility rather than lounging. You'll be shifting your position regularly on trails anyway. Whether you're standing on pegs or carving curves, you'll quickly notice that this bike flows with your body like it was built around you. Who should buy this bike? This isn't a beginner's toy or a weekend poser's prop. The XR650L is for riders who want a no-nonsense workhorse that won't complain when the going gets brutal. If you love tuning your own bike, going off-grid, or simply appreciate the mechanical honesty of an old-school machine, this one's for you. Riders who grew up wrenching will find comfort in its simplicity, while young adventurers will see it as a path to independence and wild exploration. It doesn't just take you places, it builds your skills, your confidence, and your story. A platform begging to be customized. Honda left the door wide open for customization, and that's part of this bike's charm. Want to build a barge-ready rally machine? Go for it. Need a city scrambler with off-road flair? You can do that too. Skid plates, luggage racks, engine guards, better foot pegs, high-flow air filters, there's an entire aftermarket world out there just for this bike. And because of its bulletproof reliability, you won't be fixing what breaks, you'll be upgrading what you want. Within a few days of ownership, you'll already be browsing mods and dreaming up your perfect setup. Bike Focus Reviews verdict, still king of the dirt? At Bike Focus Reviews, we've tested everything from modern adventure tourers to electric dual sports, but few bikes capture the heart and soul of riding like the XR650L. It may not win drag races or impress with fancy dashboards, but what it does offer is something far more valuable: freedom. Freedom to ride hard. Freedom to wrench. Freedom to get lost without fear of failure. In 2025, when most bikes talk too much and ride too little, the XR650L speaks softly and carries a big punch. For the rider who still values control, feel, and independence, this is your bike. Final thoughts: real riders choose real machines. If you're chasing a bike that represents pure riding spirit, one that outlasts trends and outperforms expectations, then the 2025 XR650L is your answer. This isn't a bike you grow out of, it's one you grow into. Whether you're building memories on remote dirt trails or just using it as your daily freedom machine, it delivers every single time. So, ask yourself, do you want a motorcycle that entertains you, or one that empowers you? If your answer is the latter, don't wait. The 2025 XR650L is waiting, key in the ignition, ready to ride.